Alright, everybody. I've been saving this one for a while. It's partially that I've been saving it, and to be honest, it's hard for me to talk on it too. This is someone who was a friend to me, and even though a lot of people would say he's cold-blooded killer, this and that, to me he was good, okay? And when I was in that life, I wasn't exactly a perfect jewel either. So I'm not one to judge, and if someone treats me and my family well, and I see they treat people in well general, that's fine with me. The enemy is the enemy. A lot of people don't understand that, though. You know, war is war, and this is a war, unfortunately. It's actually cost more lives than the actual civil war we had here in Mexico, which is kind of like our revolution. Now, well, where do I start? So the first time I ever heard him, his voice, anything like that, and his name was El Pariente. Let me get that straight, okay? He was my son's godfather's, like, you could say he was his equal, like, as far as rank and stuff, but they were just good friends on top of everything else, you know? He really looked after Excellent too and helped him out. He was a good guy. When I say help him out, I don't mean financially. I mean, there was a while he had a little bit of a problem with his weight, and by the end, that's one of the reasons he lost that weight, and he really just helped him out with eating, and it just, you know, it's little things like that that you notice about people if they actually care about the well-being of their friends. Anyways, the first time I heard his voice, I was on a patrol, and I was with X1, and I just heard the one part of the conversation that I heard that I could hear clearly was the part where he raised his voice. And he was pissed about something that had gone on, and I didn't know what exactly had gone on. It's not like you just ask questions like what happened. If they tell you, that's fine. You know, it's they want you to know. It's kind of like a need to know basis. So I just heard that he wanted to see blood run. Que quiere ver sangre. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, I want to see blood. And what he meant by that is he wanted to see the enemy. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to see him bleed. He wanted to see damages done. And it wasn't about 2 weeks after that I met him in person. And what's funny, from hearing his voice, how he spoke, and just the way he carried himself over the phone, I had a different perception about him. And it's funny, you know, what you have in your mind. When he showed up, it was a well-dressed, he's in fit, he's probably about 6 feet. Super friendly, man. To me, he was super friendly. He always asked me, "You all right? What do you need?" Stuff like that. When he'd go into, like, let's say the Oxo, he'd buy stuff for the whole team, man. He'd fill up ice chests. That's just the type of dude he was. Now, when we went on the first patrol, I went with him. It's one of the better memories I have. We were just cruising around smoking, I'll be honest, smoking herb and cigarettes, too, and listening to corridos. And we went and patrolled through about 9 or 10 small little towns, like ranch towns, you know, and nothing very eventful happened on that first patrol that he was with us. It partially because we were rolling so heavy, I don't think anyone would want to come out and get some. We were probably in like a 30, 40 car convoy, minimum. I didn't sit there and count the cars, you know, but they're actually trucks. There's probably a lot more than that, but I don't want to sound ridiculous. So we really hit it off, you know. I remember that first day after that patrol too. On our way back home, he stopped and he bought me 2 big pizzas at Sam's Club, you know, which was really cool. Right here, we usually have like Walmarts, and they'll be together with the Sam's Club, like in the same complex, and they'll have like the food for them out in front, you know, the where they sell like hot dogs and pizzas and stuff. I just remember this. He bought me 2 big pizzas. We stopped, and it was for me and my kids too, and my wife and stuff. So there's little things of consideration when you're in that life. You notice people actually care about you, and they care about the people around them. As well as he heard things like if he heard someone wasn't getting paid or something like that, he'd personally break it off from his wallet and fix whatever is wrong. That's the type of person he was. Um, just stand-up guys, you know. They could have been in the military, been in another position, and they would have probably been an officer or something in the military. These guys were just like straight shooters, and they actually cared about the people below them, and were trying to actually lead by example and make sure people did the right thing. They weren't hurting civilians. They weren't being abusive, stuff like that. You know, guns shouldn't even be shown to the public. That's something you keep inside the truck, and it's tinted and so on and so forth. If a firefight happens, it happens. But you don't drive around intimidating people with guns out your window. And you just need someone in a leader position like him or like X1 to keep these people in check, man, because but you have to understand, when you have dozens of armed, rowdy guys all vested up and with guns, you have to have someone with a strong personality and that knows how to lead to even just keep them in control. And they have to respect that person enough to follow him. Alright? This isn't the military exactly where it's just like you go to the brig or whatever. You have to remember, people don't listen, they usually get executed in that life. Be completely honest. Now, his demise was the same day they killed X1. They probably killed him, I think, a couple hours later. I say probably because I don't know the exact time of his death. We never got a body or anything with him either. Who knows what happened, but a friend of mine, Terry, she was kidnapped at one of the safe houses and she escaped. I told her a story before. It's called Terry's Story. So that was a hard one for me to tell too. She ended up dying probably about 3 or 4 days later. She was one of the only survivors of the attack that cost X1 his life. And yeah. Well, she was tied up in this house and they came in and they had a pack of Marlboro cigarettes. And they grabbed it and threw it down. And there was blood on it, you know what I'm saying? On some of the cigarettes, there's blood, and on the pack, like where it was at, it's probably right here on it. And they're like, there's your FF Pariente cigarettes, you know what I'm saying? If you guys don't believe us, we just killed everyone, da 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 da. They literally took his cigarettes out from the smoker, to smoke the cigarettes. And the fact that had blood on them, they just like showed it as proof to the people, and there was no reason to doubt it. So, that was the last I ever heard of him or about him, was those cigarettes. And lots of times when I look at a pack of cigarettes or something, that's what I think of. Yeah, sad story, I know. That's what happens in that life. There's nothing glamorous as far as you're gonna meet a violent end, 100%. That's what, if I want anyone to take out away from this story, is that you could be the most stand-up, straight dude that never did anyone wrong, but that does not mean that someone in your own group isn't gonna backstab you and put one in the back of your head. Just how it is in that life. It's not even worth being in it for that reason. And especially now, the game's changed. And people playing by different rules. They're playing for keeps, and people aren't living long. You know, it's a very short life expectancy nowadays in that life. And I hope people take that away from the video clips I put up too about what's going on here, is that all you get out of this prison, death, and bad health. I've been saying that for years. You know, that's almost like a motto I have on this channel, and I hope people walk away remembering that, because that's the only thing you're gonna win out of this. People have this image that they're gonna walk away with this life with a ton of money. No one walks away with a ton of money. It doesn't happen. You know, unless you're just like the boss of bosses and you're just able to walk away with like a couple $1 billion and disappear, which I've never heard of happening. They usually get addicted to the power and can't walk away from it. From my knowledge, you know, that's from what I've seen. So, I'll leave you guys with this one. I just thought it was time to tell this, and he was a good dude to me, and to everyone I saw and how he treated people. He was a stand-up dude, man. It's a shame, but I guess he knew what he got into when he got into it, right? So, Everybody like, subscribe, smash on those notifications. This is your boy Shadow. I'm gonna sign off, and it's still Christmas here where I'm at right now. So I hope you guys had a good Christmas. And New Year's is coming up, everybody. So get ready.